Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're talking about a real paradox in the skies, the Airbus A220. It's a plane that's somehow a huge success and, at the same time, maybe a huge failure. I mean, this thing is a total rock star. It's a bestseller, passengers love it, pilots love it. But behind all that shine, there's a serious crisis brewing. So serious, in fact, that people are starting to ask, is its golden age already over? Let's get into it. Okay, to really get what's going on, we gotta rewind. We need to go back to the very beginning, because the story of this plane started long before it ever had an Airbus logo on the tail.
You see, this jet wasn't born an Airbus. It actually started out as the Bombardier C Series. And let me tell you, this was a massive, incredibly expensive gamble by the Canadian company Bombardier. They wanted to build a next-gen jet completely from scratch to take on the big guys, Boeing and Airbus.
And the secret sauce here was something called a clean sheet design. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means they didn't just tweak an old plane. Nope. They started with a blank piece of paper. Everything, and I mean everything, was designed from the ground up using the absolute latest cutting-edge technology and materials. And you can see right here just how big a deal that was. Because they started fresh, using advanced carbon composites and a super slick new aerodynamic shape, the A220 ended up way lighter, more agile, and just so much more fuel efficient than its rivals. I mean, those other planes were basically still relying on designs from decades ago. So the plane itself, a work of art, but building it nearly sent Bombardier into bankruptcy. And that's when, in a move that honestly made the whole industry's jaw drop, one of the giants stepped in and completely changed the game. So picture this. It's 2017, Bombardier is on the ropes, and in comes Airbus. They swoop in and take a majority stake in the entire program. And the price tag? Get this, $1 Canadian. That's it, $1. It might just be the single greatest deal in the history of aviation. Airbus got this incredible world-class aircraft for less than a cup of coffee, and they didn't even have to take on any of Bombardier's debt. Wow! So they slapped a new name on it, the A220. And suddenly, this little Canadian jet had the full force of Airbus's massive global sales and support network behind it. And the change was, well, it was instant and it was dramatic. Just look at this chart. The average yearly sales more than doubled. It went from being this niche project to a global powerhouse overnight. And it didn't take long for airlines to pick a favorite. The bigger version, the A220-300, just flew off the shelves, making up almost 90% of all the orders. The plane wasn't just a success anymore, it was a certified blockbuster hit. But here's where the story takes a turn. The A220's greatest strength, that super efficient engine that everyone loved, was also hiding its biggest, most critical weakness. See, the A220 only has one engine option, the Pratt & Whitney Geared Turbofan, or GTF, and this thing is a true marvel of engineering. The short version is that it has a gearbox inside that lets the giant fan at the front spin at a different, slower speed than the turbines in the core. It sounds simple, but that little trick is the secret to its amazing fuel economy and why it's so quiet. But, and this is a huge but, here's the paradox. The engine is absolutely brilliant when it's working. The problem is it's been hit with issue after issue, parts wearing out too fast, components cracking, you name it. And this is the really critical part. Unlike almost every other passenger jet out there, the A220 has no other engine option. It's the GTF or nothing. In aviation, that's a massive risk. Your entire fleet's fate is tied to one single design. If it has a problem, you have a problem. And this isn't some abstract technical problem we're talking about. This is causing real, tangible chaos for airlines all over the world. It's seriously threatening the reputation of what should be a game-changing jet. What's happening is a total perfect storm. The engines are failing way sooner than anyone expected, and at the same time, the global supply chain is a mess, so getting spare parts or brand new engines is taking forever. And the result? Take a look at this number. Right now, nearly 20%. 1/5 of the entire global A220 fleet is just sitting on the ground, unable to fly. I mean, it's gotten so bad that Swiss Airlines, and remember, they were the very first airline to ever fly this plane, they've had to start parking their smaller A220s just to steal parts off of them.
They're literally cannibalizing their own fleet just to keep the bigger, more profitable A220s in the air. That's how desperate it is.
For some airlines, though, it's just been too much to handle. Take Egypt Air. They found the costs and the constant downtime so frustrating that they did something almost unheard of. They just gave up and retired their entire fleet of A220s. These are practically brand new airplanes we're talking about. It's a shocking move. And it's not just them. Air Austral has most of its A220s grounded, and they've already said they're planning to get rid of the jet altogether. You can see how the plane's incredible reputation is just taking a nosedive.
All right, so with a huge part of the fleet parked and airlines starting to lose their patience, what's the plan? How do you fix this troubled genius of the skies?
Well, right now, the focus is on a two-part rescue mission. Step 1, the engine maker, Pratt & Whitney, is under a ton of pressure to sort out its supply chain and get parts flowing to the airlines. At the same time, Step 2, Airbus is pushing as hard as it can to ramp up production of the A220 itself. Why? To make the whole program profitable and secure its financial future. Now, if they can get past this, the future could be really bright. There are whispers of a bigger, stretched A220-500, which could be a monster seller. There's even talk of bringing in a second engine supplier, like Rolls-Royce or CFM, to give airlines a choice. But, and this is the big but, all of that, every single one of those exciting possibilities, depends completely on them fixing the engine crisis first.
So, when you boil it all down, this is what we're left with. The A220 is a truly brilliant aircraft, a real glimpse into the future of flying. But right now, it's chained to a single, deeply troubled part. The huge question hanging over this entire program is whether its creators can fix that one crippling flaw before the damage to its reputation is permanent. Can all that amazing innovation actually overcome this massive problem of unreliability? I guess we're all gonna have to wait and see.